stream crashed. Actually, the lie. Stream itself did not crash. My computer itself decided to crash. So I, real quickly, double checked to make sure that it was not the game that caused my laptop to crash, and it didn't. So I'm gonna add in our trigger document, and we are going to pin this, and we are gonna go back and get into the game. I'll probably be posting this one, so I'm gonna go back through the spiel that I did. Again, 2-year anniversary stream. 2 years ago on Halloween, I started streaming. It is a very belated stream to celebrate, but your boy was busy going and driving almost 3 hours to go see his boyfriend. So, gonna go ahead and get into the game. Ah, come on. Okay, I was gonna say. Just go ahead and continue. We will start back from where we were. You're walking. Right, of course. It's the first time in a while that you felt like going out. And you're actually glad that you did. The weather is absolutely perfect today. That's a good sign, right? Maybe your luck is finally starting to turn around. You tentatively allow yourself to feel excited of the possibilities of where you could go or what you could do. Maybe even who you could meet. You're so deep in thought that you almost miss it. Huh? What was that? Curiosity guiding your steps, you follow the sound to an entrance of a lonely alleyway. The sunlight only just manages to reach down in between the tall buildings on either side. You timidly enter the alley and walk forward, the loose gravel and scattered debris on the ground softening your steps. Finally, the sound source comes into view in a warm, almost ethereal light in the alley. And at the end of the alley, in a big cardboard box, is a cat. Huh, I guess that should have been obvious. And it's an interesting looking cat. Its pretty yellow eyes shine like gold among the dark sea of its black fur. It puts its front paws up on the edge of the box and looks up at you. You look so familiar, right? Then again, it is a cat. Not many different ways for a standard black cat to look at all. This one sure is a cutie, though. Just look. It's not glaring at you or hissing at you for getting this close like other stray cats have in the past. It's just sitting there patiently, waiting for you to do something. So, last time we did all the items we could do with Do Not Take Cat Home. I think so? I'm 95%. Sadly, as cute as the cat is, you'd never take this thing home with you. You just can't take it home with you. You're a responsible adult. You are, with rents and bills to pay for, not to mention you need to buy food to survive too. There's no way you could care for a cat long term, right? You could barely afford this little outing on your day off. Thanks, Stream Elements. What to do? I think we got all the feed. I should probably actually go back and read those just in case this is your first time dropping on in. Feed the cat. The cat must be hungry, right? You can't imagine it had much to eat if it's so attached to that box it's in, though it doesn't exactly seem malnourished either. Surely it must have left the box to search for food then? For some reason, something in the back of your mind tells you that's not the case. And do not think on it any further. Well, either way, you can't exactly enjoy your day knowing you left behind a hungry cat, especially when you could have done something to help. So, what to do about the hungry kitty? Don't mind me just looking back through our endings. Yeah, so that's when we left the cat. This is if we do the pocket. This is if we do the... Okay, so yeah, we did give blood. So actually, let's go ahead and load. Going to load here. Oh yeah, we fed the little abomination blood. Aw, you just want a little attention, don't you? Poor thing must be bored sitting in that box all day. You're not sure you're much of an interesting companion, but you're willing to do your best. There's gotta be something you can entertain the little critter with. But what? Okay, so we've done that, we've looked around. That's how we play it, and then we bought a toy. Okay. So I think I fucked up. Oopsie a daisy. Go ahead, press back. Okay. So, for context, we've done these 3. We haven't got the objective or the item to get that. So, on second thought, take the cat home. Well, why not? Right? You barely reach your arms before the cat eagerly leaps into them and climbs up onto your shoulders. It butts its head against your temple, nuzzling against it. You can't help but smile at the cat's enthusiasm. Let's get you out of here, yeah? On the way home, you briefly consider getting cat food. But that would be a waste of time. Huh? You shrug at the odd feeling and move on. You live in a modest apartment. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 you living alone in it. So it feels weird having another living being inside it after so long, even if it is just a cat. After locking the front door and placing the cat on the floor, you wait for it to walk away and explore its new environment. But it simply sits and looks up at you expectantly. Do something alone. Like what? Let's clean the apartment. For context, this is where the game crashed last. But I went through and it didn't crash, so should be good. You decide that even if it is your day off, that doesn't mean you should be completely unproductive. You know you have a guest and all, but you really shouldn't put off your chores. Best to get them done while you're in the mood to do so. So for now, you get dressed, roll up your sleeves, and get to work on cleaning the apartment. At least, you try to. You sweep the living room, you wipe the kitchen counter, okay, you don't make your bed, but who actually does that anyway? Still, You notice that no matter how much you clean up, you keep finding more messes than when you started. You peek over at the cat. You suspect that it might be the culprit behind this mystery, but every time you rush to check in on it or catch it in the act, you always find it napping in the living room. You keep cleaning, but the cat, or something, keeps leaving more and more mess in its wake. Keep cleaning. You keep cleaning, but there's just more mess. And more, and more. When you finally stop and look around you, you don't even recognize your home anymore. There's piles of junk everywhere. Do you even own this much stuff? You don't remember even buying or receiving most of it. The piles tower over you. You feel claustrophobic. The stench of garbage is overwhelming, despite your hands feeling raw from all the cleaner fluid you've been using. Your eyes still burn from the bleach. You need some air. You need to get out of here. Crack! You hear a crash and see a teacup you're certain you don't own smashed on the floor. You look up and see the cat perched on a teetering pile of china and kitchen appliances. It carefully nudges another teacup from the pile, sending it careening to the ground. But you don't even flinch as it shatters. Instead, you start to chuckle. Suddenly you're laughing. It's so hilarious. The tears start running down your face. I knew it was you. You did this, didn't you? You pick up the largest piece of ceramic from the broken teacups. Didn't you? And throw it at the cat. The cat dodges by leaping off the pile. The pile sways. It sways. It's falling. It's falling towards you. Crash. You can't move. You're buried. The pile fell on top of you. Broken shards of fine china and sharp utensils are piercing your skin. Your organs, your bones feel loose and limp, crushed under the heavy appliances. Warm liquid pools under you. With the last of your strength, you listen as the cat pads over to you before laying down and purring sleepily. Yeah, a nap sounds pretty good. Ending 1, a not so clean getaway. So we're gonna go ahead and loot. We're gonna catch the cat in the act. How are you supposed to finish cleaning up if this little imp is making a menace of itself? No. You know the cat's the culprit. You consider locking it up in the bathroom, at least until you clean the rest of the apartment. But it just doesn't seem fair when you don't actually have any proof. You need to investigate this further. You need proof. Not just for the sake of your sanity, but more importantly for the sake of cleanliness. You start to clean again and peek behind you, catching mere glimpses of a paw here or a tail there. But as with earlier, when you rush back to the living room, the cat is still sleeping. Okay, you want to play, cat? Then let's play. This time, you decide to lay a trap. One your feline friend won't be able to resist. You tackle the kitchen island counter and give it the works. It's glistening by the time you're done. It's so clean, you'd drop kick anyone who even thought of eating off of it. The perfect trap for your little cleaning saboteur. You whistle innocently as you exit the room and hide around the corner of the entryway to the hall. From the angle you're at, you have a perfect view of the cat in the island counter. There's no way you won't catch the culprit in the act now. If it really isn't the cat, maybe you'll give it a treat as an apology for your suspicions? But as you deliberate if you should stop by the grocery store to get some fish, the cat starts to shift. Its back that was rising and falling evenly moments ago is now rippling in small tremors like an agitated wave on a black sea. It's shuddering. It's bubbling. It's bulging. It's bulging. Pop! Huh? What the hell? You gape in disbelief as another cat bursts out of the still sleeping feline you've taken home with you. You're fairly certain that's not how cats give birth. But more importantly, you watch cat number 2 shake itself off before leaping up onto the counter, rolling around on top of it, and leaving fur and grime in its wake. Probably should have given it a bath earlier. You feel like your mind is lagging behind the reality of the discovery you've just made. But you don't seem capable of thinking beyond smaller observations. For example, the thoughts of hows and whys of what you're witnessing eludes you. The more pertinent question that strikes you is that if the original cat is still sleeping, and the cloned cat is busy making yet another mess, then where are all the other clones? Suddenly, 2 cats look directly at you in perfect unison. Their eyes pin you to the spot of their intensity. But you realize with the familiar, sinking feeling of being watched from behind that they're not the only ones looking at you. You slowly turn around. Packed in the hall behind you, from floor to ceiling, is a living, breathing, writhing wall of cats, of clones, all piled on top of each other. The glowing golden eyes of every cat in the undulating wall of pure black fur. Every single eye is trained on you. Out of fear and sheer desperate need to distance yourself from this blight on reality and order, you take a single step back. And in response, the wall just breaks. The cats all stampeding over you. It'd be kind of cute if their soft paws weren't hiding claws as sharp as knives. You try to protect yourself, but there's just too many of them. Blood leaks steadily from your scratches. You feel dizzy. With what little strength you have, you turn your head and watch as the cats tear through carpet and upholstery, knock over vases and dishes and lamps, claw at the walls. It's going to take forever to clean this up, you think. Maybe you'll tackle it again later, right after you take a short nap. With an annoyed sigh, you breathe your last breath. Ending 2, Double Trouble. Let's go ahead and look at those 2 endings. Ending 1. You tried cleaning your apartment, but apparently you're not very good at it. Let's go ending 2. You found the ones responsible for making the mess of your apartment. Those little pranksters. We're going to do something alone. We're going to watch a movie. You're not tired enough for a nap, but you're too lazy to get started on any of your chores. So you decide to watch a movie. You get dressed in your favorite pajamas, make some popcorn with an obscene amount of butter, and head over to your armchair. Only to discover that the cat is already napping in it. You frown a little and thought, your couch isn't at the best angle for optimal TV viewing pleasure, and you don't feel like pushing it around and having to put it back later. The only options you have left are to sit on the floor or move the cat and reclaim your throne. We'll sit on the floor. Oh, Mo's just sleeping in my bed. Like the pretty, perfect little girl she is. Listen, if this was not how the word is escaping my brain. If this was not a cosmic horror entity, I would 110% take this loving cat. I love cats so much. And I think Mo would enjoy a brother and or sister. I should say another feline. Because the dog comes over sometimes and they kind of just tolerate each other. He's definitely more interested in her, but she kind of just exists in the same space as him. That's as much as she'll do. You decide to sit on the floor. The cat is a guest after all, and you pride yourself on being a good host if nothing else. Well, at least you would be if you'd ever had any guests over before. You grab a blanket and some pillows and make a comfy nest in front of the chair. You pop in a random movie from your collection and can tell instantly that it's one of your favorite horror films. You've seen it a few times already, but it never fails to get your blood pumping. A few minutes in and you're already invested, getting reacquainted with the story and the characters. The scares won't come until later, but for some reason you feel like something is watching you from behind. You know it's probably nothing, but you feel compelled to check anyway. You peek over your shoulder, only to jump out of your skin, jostling a few pieces of popcorn out of the bowl in your lap. The cat is awake and looking right at you. You take a calming breath, recovering from your heart nearly lurching out of your chest, and immediately feel foolish. It's just the cat, of course. It was so quiet you've forgotten it was right behind you. Even though it's the whole reason you're sitting on the floor in the first place. You shakily pick up the remote, intending to rewind some of the parts you missed. However, as soon as you press the rewind button, the TV shuts off. Huh? You blink, confused. Nothing else turned off. The kitchen's dimmed light was still on. The digital clock is still glowing, and the movie player is still rewinding. The power clearly didn't go off, so why? You feel a chill run down your spine as you catch the cat's reflection in the dark TV screen. It's still looking at you. Cats stare silly. It's kind of their thing, right? And you're a new addition in its life. Of course it's going to study you closely to see if you're trustworthy. As you mentally reassure yourself, you turn the TV back on. Huh? What? The TV's on, but the movie isn't what's playing on the screen. It's you? yourself frown on screen as you feel your brow furrow in tandem. It's like live footage of you in real time, like you're being recorded. You feel a familiar sensation of your mind focusing on small details to avoid the bigger picture of your current situation. Avoiding the questions of how this is happening, or who or what is doing this, and why. Suddenly, your mirrored self smiles and waves at you, all on its own. You don't wave back, too stunned to move. The you on the screen doesn't seem to mind, though. Then it stands up, it walks out of frame, and... Ah! A terrified yelp rips out of your mouth before you can stifle it. On screen, in the chair, is the cat. But it's wrong. It's become a large, swollen mass of black fur. Its twitching pulse, rhythmical as its slow, almost methodical breaths. Its mouth is a yawning entrance to a black abyss framed by a set of teeth that look very... did not mean to burp, sorry. Very sharp. Glowing eyes bulge all over its body. It's still looking at you. It doesn't even acknowledge your on-screen persona as they walk back into frame and pet it almost lovingly. Then the you inside the TV touches one of the cat's fangs. You flinch at a sudden sharp pain in your palm. You look down and sure enough, your hand is bleeding. You're not particularly afraid of blood, but for some reason, the sight of it leaking out of you sends another chill down your back. A thought, clear and terrible, flashes across your mind. It's not just the mutated cat in the TV that's watching you, is it? Don't look behind you, don't look behind you, don't look behind you, don't look behind you. Don't look behind you. You watch hopelessly as your on-screen self smiles and nods at you, almost encouragingly. They stand in front of the cat's gaping jaws. They look into the dark depths. And as you're torn between the horrifying realization of what's about to happen and the gripping wonder of what they see looking back at them from that deep, deep darkness, they jump in. Darkness is a sudden presence all around you, pressing in, holding you down, and yet you somehow feel weightless. You can't tell if you're falling, but it doesn't feel like you're laying down or standing either. You feel warm. You feel cold. You feel everything. You feel nothing. You feel nothing. Ending 3, silent film. We shall reclaim our throne. You square your shoulders. Sorry, kitty, but that's my spot. You pick up the cat and place it on the floor, which wild because personally, Rarely do I do that with Mo. It's more of a, if she's sitting somewhere, I will sit beside her or on the floor near her. Rarely do I move her from a position, unless it is somewhere where I currently need to be. You pick up the cat and place it on the floor. It's clearly upset with you. When you try to pet it as an apology, it dodges your hand and scampers away. You shrug and put on a random movie before nestling into your chair. It's some horror film that you love to heckle from beginning to end. Nothing but an endless string of pointless jump scares. Did the writers not know the meaning of the word subtle? Crash! What was that? Was that the bathroom? The cat must have gotten into the medicine cabinet or knocked something over. Calming your thundering heart with a deep breath, you pause the movie and get up to investigate. Whoa! The cat dashes between your legs from the hall. Fleeing the scene only makes you look guiltier, you know. You're even more reluctant to see the damage now. You just want to relax and watch your bad horror movie. You go into the bathroom and turn on the light. Just as you thought, all the stuff in your medicine cabinet is scattered on the tiles. You sigh. At least none of it looks broken or damaged. You crouch down to pick everything up. Click. Huh? Did the door just close? Did you bump it when you crouched down, or... Well, at least the cat can't come in and make more of a mess this way. Huh? The lights? Didn't you just replace the bulbs? They weren't faulty, were they? You never remember to hold on to your receipts for situations like these. You doubt you'll be able to get your money back. You stand up. You shake out the pain in your knees from crouching and open your medicine cabinet. Carefully, you place everything back where they belong, making sure nothing is missing. You close the cabinet door. Ah! You jump back, slamming against the wall, covering your mouth. You look back up at the mirror on the medicine cabinet door to see nothing. Nothing? What the hell? Something was... You know you just saw something just now. And you know you did. Right? You saw something. Yeah, definitely. Ah! I would do more of a blood-curdling scream, but I'm using my vocal cords for the rest of this video. I love how Mo's still sleeping through all of this, mind you. You rush out of the bathroom and slam the door behind you without looking. You enter the hall and... No. No. You shield yourself with your arms and... Nothing. Nothing. Again. You peek through your fingers and see... just your usual hallway. You don't feel very good. You need to sit down. You make your way back to the dark living room, trying not to overwhelm your senses any more than you already have. Maybe you should watch something a little more lighthearted, or just lie down instead. You don't know. It's a little hard to think. You need to sit down. Stumbling forward, you reach for your chair, but... It's nothing. It's nothing at all. It's just the cat, sitting back in your chair again, looking up at you curiously. But it's enough. Her lurched so harshly out of the mixture of fear and anticipation that it completely gives out. Your eyes roll up into your skull. You feel yourself falling back. You're dead before you even hit the ground. Ending 4. Ending 4. Real subtle. I do have to double check, though. You definitely saw something. Okay, I believe this is just all the same. It is. Okay, so look at those two endings. Ending 3. Silent film. You let the cat sit in your favorite chair and watch a scary movie together. Just an ordinary movie night. Real subtle. You took back the chair from the cat and enjoyed some silly little jump scares alone. We'll do something alone. We'll take a nap. You're a little tired from the events of the day. Making a life-changing choices like committing to responsibility of caring for another living creature really wears you out. You could definitely use a nap. You head to your room and get dressed in your pajamas before you decide to grab a glass of water from the kitchen. You head back to your bedroom, ready for a much-needed nap. Whoa! Only for the cat to run past you through the open door and jump onto the middle of the bed. Takes its time kneading at the sheets before settling down and closing its eyes. Oh, that's what Mo's doing. She's sleeping. She's sleeping in the bed. Yes, she is. Oh, she's sleeping. Well, that was fast. You frown thoughtfully. Now that your mind's on it, you find yourself really craving a nap in your own bed. There's no way you're settling for sleeping on the couch. Certainly not the armchair. Which means you should... We are not moving the cat, but we have to. Move the cat. You tentatively nudge the cat in an attempt to make it move on its own. It doesn't budge in the slightest. Move the cat. Keep trying. This is your bed. You push a little more firmly this time. The cat sounds annoyed with you. Move the cat. Again, you will sleep in your own bed. The cat opens one yellow eye and slides it up to look at you. Is its voice a little deeper than before? Move the cat. Move the cat. You move forward, ready to shove the cat with all your might. Crash! Gah! You're thrown back by some invisible force and crash into the dresser before falling to the ground. Ugh. Wind knocked out of you, you look up in a daze. You don't quite comprehend what it is you are seeing. A strong, swirling wind has picked up, throwing items all over the place, as if a miniature hurricane had taken form in your room. And right in the center of it all is the cat. Hovering in the air above the bed, its eyes open, glowing like molten lava. You watch as the vortex rips open in the center of your bed, and panic as the swirling winds turns into a vacuum, dragging you towards the bed. Your nails catch and tear as you desperately try to cling to the carpet, to the floorboards, any and every piece of furniture within your reach, bloody fingers slipping clumsily on every surface. But there's nothing you can do. As you touch the vortex, your body starts to disintegrate. Tiny particles of your body separating and floating into nothing. The last thing you see is the cat landing nimbly on the bed and kneading at your sheets before it curls up and falls back asleep. Ending 5. Do not disturb. Sleep next to the cat. You shrug. What's the harm in sharing the bed, right? I sleep in the same bed as Mo. She likes to lean up against my leg, especially if I'm wearing shorts. She likes skin to fur contact. You've both had a long day after all. You try to carefully avoid jostling the cat as you lie down. As you lay down. But it immediately scoots over and curls up against you anyway. You smile. Sweet dreams. Huh? I feel like you slept for a long time. You feel a warm weight on your back. But you don't see the... Oh, mystery solved then. You feel comfortable? You consider getting up. But as soon as the thought enters your head, your mind fills with static and a deep sense of disapproval? Not yet, then? Okay. The cat, jostled by your attempts at movement, kneads painfully at your back before settling down again and falling back asleep. You fall back into slumber too. It's night. You want to get up. Claws dig into your back like a warning. Tomorrow then, right? It's morning. You'll be late for work. But the cat doesn't budge. You don't even try to get up this time. You just close your eyes and drift off again. It's the next day. Since the last several days, or has it been weeks? Or longer? You're not quite sure. You're hungry. You don't know how long you've been lying down. You feel sore on your back, but also on your stomach, your arms, your face, everywhere. You can't remember your last meal. Last time you drank anything. You've been sleeping all this time. But you feel exhausted. More tired than you think you've ever felt in your life. It feels like a giant hand is pressing you into the bed. We love an accurate description for depressive bed rotting. You can't remember the last time you even considered moving, but somehow you know that you need to go back to sleep anyway. Everything will be fine if you just go back to sleep. Huh? You think you're hallucinating when the cat finally stirs. It stretches languidly, before hopping off your back. You hear its feet padding through your still open bedroom door, its steps fading down the hall. You don't open your eyes. You don't move. You're afraid you don't remember how. You're afraid that the static will return if you try. But you eventually do try. You try to prop yourself up on your arm. It's thinner than you've ever seen it. Thinner than you think should be possible. Crack! The arm snaps under the weight of your body and crumples to dust on the bedsheets. It doesn't hurt in the slightest. As if even your nerves have dried up and become as useless as you feel in general. Just how long have you been laying in bed? You don't have much time to think about it. Your failed attempt to sitting up tumbles you over the side of the bed like a rag doll. Crack! 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 But you think you're probably closer to being a ceramic doll, as your body shatters instantly upon impact with the floor. Your head rolls towards the door, letting you watch as the rest of your strewn body parts crack and crumble and turn to broken ruin as your conscience begins to fade. The cat strolls into view then, poking and prodding at the remains of your brittle limbs. Bad kitty, you try to say. But you think your jaw might have snapped off earlier as well. Almost as if sensing your attention, the cat walks over to you. Well, your head, at least. And you watch with your final conscious seconds as it lays down, curling its body around you. It feels warm. Well, maybe another nap couldn't hurt. Ending 6. Just a cat nap. You shouldn't bother a cat while it's trying to nap. Resting's good, but you should get up and stretch every now and then, and eat and drink. We'll do something with the cat. Let's pet the cat. It's not every day you have access to a cute, fluffy animal. What else is there to do but pet it to your heart's content? You sit on the floor of your living room and click your tongue to call the cat over. The cat dashes over to you, immediately climbing into your lap. Poor thing, you just want some attention, don't you? All right. You carefully, can't read apparently. You carefully pet the cat. A rub behind an ear, a scratch under the chin, a smooth sweep along the back. Good? You keep petting the cat in your lap, enjoying this bonding time together. But the cat starts to get restless after a while. Keep petting. You're not quite ready to stop. You feel so calm. This repetitive action soothing your usually overworking mind. You keep petting. cat leans away from your next head pat. It's trying to get out of your lap. Keep petting. When you scratch into the cat's chin, it bites at your fingers. You might be bleeding, but it really it barely hurts. More of a warning than anything. The cat struggles in your hold. It's watching you closely. Keep petting. You keep petting the cat. Chomp! You just take my whole ass finger? The cat bites off your finger. It hurts. You're definitely bleeding now, but for some reason, you just can't stop. You don't know what it is. Its fur is so much softer than you realized. You'd think that it would be shining in the faint light of your living room, but it's as if the darkness of the cat's black coat is sucking in all the illumination around it, rendering it completely null. You're drawn to it, like you're somehow holding a deep dark abyss right in your lap. It seems calmer now. Munching on your severed finger. The stump between your thumb and middle finger is leaking. But you keep petting. You fret that your blood will ruin its fur, but the cat no longer seems to mind. Time passes. It's dark out now. As soft as the fur is, your paw's starting to feel raw and damp under the constant friction of your petting. You think faintly that maybe you've had enough. You start to lift your hand from the cat, when in a flash, your entire hand is separated from your wrist. It flops onto your lap beside the cat. The cat's claws on its front right paw glisten with crimson liquid. You don't feel it for a moment, but your body tenses, anticipating the pain as you blankly watch the cat lick at the bloody palm of your severed hand. It hurts. It really, really hurts. Then the cat looks up at you and you feel compelled to keep petting. You're reluctant, but you're also afraid of what will happen if you don't heed the call. What will you lose next if you try to resist again? You were hurt for your insistent petting earlier, yet now you've been hurt for trying to stop? It defies all logic, but that's what scares you. There's no reasoning with such fickle whims. You feebly try to raise your uninjured hand to pet the cat, but it stiffens, golden eyes glinting dangerously. Well, all right then. You raise your bleeding stump and resume your petting to the best of your ability. You pet and you bleed. You pet and you bleed. You pet and you bleed. You pet and you. Ending 7. Personal boundaries. Let's do something else. let's feed the cat. The cat looks hungry, so you decide to feed it. Well, actually... Dang niblets. Put the cat... Okay, so I think that's the only ending for petting the cat. We'll feed the cat. Cat looks hungry, so you decide to feed it. You're regretting not stopping for food earlier, as you don't have much left. Grocery shopping day is tomorrow, after all. You head to the kitchen and click your tongue, ensuring the cat follows after you. It leaps nimbly onto the kitchen counter and watches as you search for meal options. Let's see. You find some things you expect. A can of tuna in the pantry, some leftover meatloaf in the fridge, and... what's that? You realize there's a tightly sealed Tupperware on the bottom shelf of the fridge. You don't recognize it. A foul odor is leaking from the container. Whatever is inside can't be safe for human consumption. But the cat seems excited about it, practically salivating over it. Still, you're the caretaker here. You're the one who needs to decide on what's best to feed the hungry cat. So you'll feed it tuna. Cats like fish, right? Shrugging, you take out the tuna for the cat and the meatloaf for yourself. You put the frankly ominous container back in the fridge. The cat looks a little disappointed. Tough. You'll need to dispose of that weird whatever it is later. You open the tuna and spoon it onto a small saucer. You put the saucer on the kitchen counter next to the cat. You don't think you should be encouraging it to eat up there, but you figure it'll make up for electing not to feed it the toxic goop it wanted. The cat looks like it finds the tuna acceptable. You'll take it. Eat up, kitty. As the cat digs into its meal, you go ahead heating up the meatloaf in the microwave. While setting the timer, you hear hiccup. You turn and see the plate is completely empty. Whoa, that was quick. You need to pace yourself. Huh? What the... You watch baffled as the cat continues to hiccup, causing little bubbles to float out of its mouth. Okay. That's okay. You can process this. It's not completely out of the realm of what's possible, right? Right. Best not to think too hard about it. Soon enough, the room is full of floating bubbles. The cat releases a final, tiny bubble before yawning and laying down right there on the counter. Well, glad you enjoyed it. The bubbles haven't left the room or popped. They seem to be pretty resilient. Huh? Wait, what? What's that? As one of the bubbles floats closer to you, you see that there's actually something inside it. A tiny, furry, fish? This is just getting weirder and weirder. Still, you can't help but marvel at the impossible wonder in front of you. You lift a hand. You extend a finger towards a bubble, carefully pressing it against the surface. The little fish inside lashes out, viciously sinking tiny fangs into your finger. It doesn't really hurt that much at first, but then... Ah! Ow! What? Pain starts to climb from your finger to the rest of your hand, past your wrist. Could it be some kind of venom? You fling your arm around and attempt to dislodge the fish, but... You accidentally knock your arm into several of the bubbles floating around. More tiny, ravenous fish latch onto your flesh. You stumble back out of pain in a sudden bout of dizziness, only to bump into more bubbles. More fish digging their teeth into your back. It hurts. You're getting dizzy. Here, go. You got to get out. You deliriously try to stumble out of the kitchen, but the entire room is filled with the deadly bubbles. By the time you collapse to the ground, you're absolutely covered in tiny, angry, biting fish. Your legs, your torso, your arms, your face. The pain is unbearable. You can feel it in your skin and your teeth and your eyes and your hair, and it's so consuming that you can even feel yourself convulsing or crying. You don't black out. Your eyes are still rolled up into your skull when you gasp out your last breath. Ending 8, fish out of water. Let's get those real quick. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Alright, so we had knowing how to take no for an answer is an important life lesson. It is. You fed the cat some tuna. It liked it okay. Just give it some meatloaf. You get the feeling that the cat won't be too impressed with anything that comes out of a can. And you're not about to feed it whatever the heck that toxic-looking sludge is. So it's settled. A tuna sandwich for you and leftover meatloaf for your feline guest. You ignore the cat's disapproved meows as you put back the weird container in the fridge to dispose of later. You warm up the meatloaf in the microwave. You place the now warm meatloaf on a saucer next to the cat on the counter. You don't think you should be encouraging it to eat up there, but you figure it'll make up for electing not to feed it the toxic goop it wanted. The cat looks like it finds the meatloaf interesting. Works for you. Eat up, kitty. As the cat digs into its meal, you're about to go searching for some bread for your tuna sandwich. You're so distracted by your search that you only just barely hear splat. You turn around and see that the meatloaf has only one, maybe 2 bites taken out of it, but more alarmingly, there seems to be a red trail of something leading away from where the cat had been sitting and off to the edge of the counter towards the living room. Is that blood? You jump at the strange sound coming from around the counter, further into your apartment. You attempt to steel your nerves. Taking a breath, you walk around the counter to head into the living room. Splat. Huh? You stepped in something warm and wet and red. You resist the urge to vomit and step away from the trail of... You follow the trail into the living room and see that it leads into the hallway. It's getting louder. It's definitely in the hall, You feel like you can hear your heartbeat. You hope whatever it is in the hall can't. Your body shakes as you feel yourself step forward, and forward, and forward, and forward. You peek around the corner. Huh? Nothing. There's nothing there. What? You walk further into the hall and see that the trail leads all the way down to the end of it. But there's nothing there. You don't quite feel relief, but at least plop. Huh? You feel something wet and warm drip onto your cheek. Something very warm. Oh my god, the cat, it's pissing on me. No, no. You swipe your shaking hand across it, pull it back to see your fingers covered in something. You look up and see what can only be described as meat. The entire ceiling of the hallway is covered in a thick, undulating, writhing layer of pulsing meat. At its center is a single glowing eyeball frantically rolling around in every direction until it lands squarely on you. You try to take a step back, desperate to escape the hallway, to escape this thing, but before you can even scream, meaty tendrils shoot out and grab you. No! Let me go! They pull you up and up into a pair of slowly opening jaws. And then, jump! Ending 9, leftovers. Hey buddy, why can't I load? Why are you giving me eyes? Hi. In the days leading up to my meeting with it, I've been obsessed with a memory. Someone precious to me had found someone precious to them. My best friend. My only friend. I was happy for them, truly. But then I'd been happy for the others too. They promised it wouldn't happen to me again. That they knew how it felt to be told by someone you cared for that they'd outgrown you and your friendship. That they'd never, ever do such a thing to me. That's not a moment that passes now that I'd wish I'd risked the pain of their rejection. And just believed them. But I didn't. I pulled away before they could, trying to protect my fragile heart. But it only hurt all the more. Selfish as it was, I wanted them to fight harder to keep me around. When it appeared before me, it promised to be just that. A friend that would never, ever let me go. a friend that would never, ever leave me. And all I had to do was promise the same thing in return. You're walking. Right, of course. It's the first time in a while that you felt like going out. And you're actually glad that you did. Weather good today. That good thing. Maybe good luck too. Yes, lucky. Lucky, 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 lucky. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Lucky, lucky. Lucky, 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 lucky. Or maybe it was fate? You tentatively allow yourself to feel excited for the possibility of where you could go, or what you could do, or even who you could meet. This is all the same. What did the kitty get home? We're going to feed the cat. We're going to feed the cat mystery food. Is this really a good idea? Fine. I guess this is what you want. You open the container and... You just barely managed to keep from throwing up. But just barely. The stench is overwhelming. Give me a minute. You hazard a look at the contents of the container, but... You honestly can't understand what you're supposed to be looking at. Everything's just mashed together. What exactly everything consists of is a mystery you're more than happy to keep unsolved. Different shapes, different sizes, different textures. Not the color, though. All of it is the same color. The most unfortunate looking shade of gray you've ever seen. Tinted with a nauseating wet green film over the top. Am I supposed to warm it up? Or you don't really know how to soup it? Any utensil or plate that touches it is getting thrown out immediately. No exceptions. Your hands are going to be scrubbed with soap and hot water to within an inch of their lives after this. You decide against putting this crap in your microwave. You doubt it would taste or smell any better warm. Not wanting to hold it anymore, you shake your head and practically toss the container next to the cat on the counter. The cat enthusiastically dives for the toxic-looking sludge, sniffing at it as if savoring the scent. You turn to the fridge and close it. You've lost your appetite. You're about to head to the bathroom to wash your hands for the next hour or so when... Ow! A sharp pain on your foot causes you to stumble. You catch yourself on the kitchen sink and look down to see that the tip of your sock is red. And the red is still slowly spreading out to the rest of your sock. Are you bleeding? You quickly reach down and pull off your sock to see the damage. No, my grippers, they're out! Your middle toe is gone. It's just gone. Just a stump left in its place, steadily leaking blood onto the floor. You clumsily step back as if it would help you get away from what you're seeing. The blood trail simply following your movements. 911. You have to call 911. Phone, where's the... Your tongue is... What's happening to me? You slowly look over to find the cat is still eating, completely unbothered by your suffering. Not bothering to try and stop the blood from dribbling out of your mouth. You keep watching in a daze as the cat happily chews at the gross piece of... Huh? Wait. That's... You look more closely at the mystery food in the cat's jaws. It looks vaguely familiar. It looks like a tongue. Before you can even think to do anything to stop it, the cat dives into the container again and bites into a piece that kind of looks like a... You collapse to the floor, clutching your torso. You writhe around on the blood-streaked tiles, crying. Something inside you just... Blood pours out from deep within you. Whatever that was felt important. And now it's probably gone too. It hurts. It hurts so much. You weakly try to reach up to the cat on the counter above you. Your vision blurs from the effort, from the pain, from your tears, from... Your eyes. Your eyes! You fall limply back to the floor. You are leaking blood all over. From all over. Your foot, your mouth, your insides, your eye sockets. You can feel your life fading away too. That's fine. If it means not feeling the pain of losing another part of you, then hopefully the cat will take its time eating your eyeballs and give you time to just. Ending 10. You are what you eat. Leftovers. You fed the cat some leftover meatloaf. It liked it okay. You fed the cat something. It really, really liked it. Do something with the cat. Let's play with the cat. Poor thing was probably bored stiff sitting in that old box all day. Just watching crowds of people walking by them. Ignoring them. You can't just leave them alone as soon as you're home. A little interspecies socializing wouldn't kill you, right? want some attention, don't you? Wanna play, huh? Okay then. What to play though? Well, look for some yarn. If every movie and cartoon involving cats that you've watched since childhood is to be believed, then you can deduce that almost absolutely certainty that cats freaking love yarn. Probably. You unearth some from an old box in the hallway closet that's filled with knickknacks from various abandoned hobbies. You consider just handing the ball of bright red yarn over to the cat and supervising from the side, but that would defeat the idea of playing together, wouldn't it? You cut off a decent length of the string from the ball of yarn and go back to the living room. The cat is resting on the floor. It's not asleep, but when it looks up at you as you enter the room, it feels like it could doze off right then and there. You will fix that. You smirk a little, confident with your surprise. And let the piece of yarn dangle just above the floor, pinching between your thumb and index finger. Huh? The sudden shift in the cat's demeanor makes your heart start to beat a little faster. Its posture has barely changed at all. Just a subtle shift of the head and ears. A slight tension in the shoulders. A sharpness in the gaze as it's locked onto the yarn dangling an inch above the floor. The cat could still pass as almost relaxed, calm. And yet, the air is thick with its eagerness to lunge forward, waiting for the right moment to strike. You feel like you've just witnessed the awakening of the perfect predator. You're almost afraid of what will happen once you make the first move. But it will be you who makes the first move. You take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and yoink! The cat had lunged the instant you wiggled the yarn, but you're faster. It completely misses as you flick your wrist, making the yarn recoil out of its reach like a terrified snake. Hanging overshot the landing in its eagerness, the cat stumbles and looks around as if shocked at its failed attack. You generously click your tongue to help reorient it. The cat whips its head around to the sound. You're slightly taken aback at the intensity of its stare on the yarn, but you persist. You wiggle the yarn again encouragingly, and yes, maybe a little tauntingly. This time, the cat anticipates the yarn's upward dodge and leaps up to swipe at it. But you're already one step ahead, puppeting the yarn to dance gracefully out of the reach once more. Come on, you can do it. A little condescending, but you can't seem to help it. For some reason, it feels a little good knocking the feline down a peg or two. At least it seems to be enjoying itself. You hope, anyway. Keep going. The cat's movement have gotten aggressive. It must be getting frustrated. You could swear it nearly took a shot at your eye the last time. it had jumped so high and erratically. You've been keeping the yarn in constant motion, afraid to slow it down. Your wrist is starting to get tired. The cat doesn't seem to be losing any energy, though. It's like it's getting faster and faster. Flick. 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 Your wrist finally cramps sharply, making you lose control of the yarn's motion as the tip of it brushes lightly against your stomach. Slash! Pain rips low across your torso, into your torso. Blood pours out of your mouth. In a daze, you look down and see red blooming slowly along the bottom of your shirt, around the tears in the fabric. Plop. You watch as long, thick ropes of something pour out from under your shirt into a bloody heap on the floor at your feet. A single red-streaked rope still hangs from you, connecting you to all that mess. Are those your... You crumble to the ground and topple over onto your side. Your vision has gone blurry, but you can just make out the shape of something small and a deep, inky black as it walks over and inspects your... God, they're your intestines. Before it starts to giddily roll around in the mess of your bloody insides next to you. Darkness falls over you. The cat sounds happy. Nonsensically, you wonder where the yarn has gone, but there's really no need to worry about it. The cat seems content with the next best thing. Ending 11 at the end of your rope. Hey, my laser pointer still works. I'm going to take a quick break because I have to go pee, but enjoy the sound of breathing while I be back. Right. See y'all in a fat minute. am back. I think my laser pointer still works. Cats are curious creatures by nature. They're also natural hunters. Sort of. Why not pass the time by letting the cat hunt after something it'll never quite understand? That sounds a little mean when you think about it like that. But it's not like the cat will know anyway. Sorry about that. My grandma came in to talk to me. Ignorance is bliss, or so they say. So you dig out your old laser pointer from your long-gone, dreaded days of group presentations in school. You flip it on and see that even after all this time, the batteries still work. You get a little kick out of aiming at the mirror hanging in the living room, so it reflects off the glass, making a little red dot appear on your knee. The cat cautiously walks over, stopping every few steps to cast a look of suspicion at you. When it finally reaches you, it lightly presses a paw to your knee, like it's trying to catch the dot of red light as casually as possible. You manage to hold back a chuckle, not that it really matters. The cat isn't paying attention to you at all, entirely focused on the light now resting on top of its paw. You move the light a little higher above your knee. The cat reacts immediately, trying to pin the light down. But in the next second, you've already moved it to the floor. The cat jerkily follows, attempting a more energetic pounce when you shift the red dot. Over here, over there, and over there. By the couch, on the couch. The cat might be ignoring you, but you're certainly enjoying yourself. It's been a while since you've laughed this much. You're laughing so much, in fact, you accidentally shift the red dot onto the lamp beside the couch. In its haste to get the light, the cat leaps onto the lamp, sending them both to the ground. Crash! Oh my gosh! The cat is sitting in the middle of the former lamp's broken shards. Back hunched, its head whipped around back and forth as if in a panic. You quickly turn off the laser pointer and rush over. I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Are you hurt? You reach down to pick up the cat and check it for injuries when... Slash! Ow! Hey! The cat swipes at you, claws extended. It backs up and twitches away, making frantic half-turns in various directions as if looking for something, or waiting for something to appear. Oh, jeez. That really hurt, you know? You hold the hand with the scratch close to your chest. It's bleeding, but it's not too big. You're more annoyed than anything, but... Immediately, your annoyance starts to bleed into concern. You watch in shock as the cat starts to run around, tearing at the carpet, the sofa, your armchair. You want to stop it, but you're afraid of getting in the middle of its rampage. You consider calling a vet for advice on how to calm it down, but for some reason, you You feel like that wouldn't be a good idea. What happened to you? Is it... An idea comes to you, or rather a realization? You grasp the laser pointer, aiming it safely away towards the floor in the middle of the living room, thinking, hoping, that the cat would calm down if it found what it was looking for. You turn on the laser pointer. The cat's reaction is immediate. You're screwed up. In the span of mere seconds, you watch as the cat spies the red dot from its perch on the shredded armchair, leaps high into the air, changes in the air, crash, and slams down upon the dot on the floor with its weight and force that shakes the whole apartment, maybe even the whole building. You wonder dazedly how none of the other tenants have rushed over to complain about the noise. Yet you stare at the sight in front of you. The cat has somehow grown in size, eyes bulging and glowing, tail thrashing, teeth enlarged, bared, and covered alarmingly in a bubbly froth. Its giant claws rip and shred through the carpet, through the floor tiles, and even below them, ravenously trying to get at the red dot. Your hands are shaking. You don't know what to do. You feel trapped. You have to get away. Get it away from you. You slowly back up towards the door. The light moves with you. Instinctively, you flick the light away. This way and that. The cat stampering after it. Crash. So fast. Smashing through the TV, breaking the couch in half. Crash, crash. Too fast. Bulldozing through the wall into the hallway. Crash. A chance. You turn, intending to bolt out the door and never come back. But in your haste, you forgot. You forget something. You forget several somethings. You forget the laser pointer, gripped like a lifeline in your hand. You forget the mirror, still miraculously hanging on the wall next to the hallway. The laser reflecting off of it, putting a small, glowing red dot on the back of your head. As you reach the door, you forget that it's locked. You don't even have a chance to turn around before the cat lunges all the way across the room at you. You're torn to shreds before you can even blink. Ending 12, targeted. Hide and seek, a classic. What about hide and seek? You're not quite sure how this is going to work. Can a cat even understand the concept of a game? Let alone one with rules like hide and seek? Here, just... You pick up the cat and turn them away from you before hiding behind the armchair. You're almost certain that the cat must have turned and looked while you were hiding. Out of confusion, at least, if nothing else. Regardless, a few moments later, the cat cautiously peeks around the armchair at you, eyes curious. You smile and scoop it up, holding it out in front of you. You found me! You win! The cat looks confused, but pleased at your praise. This time, you put it on the armchair so it can't see your hiding spot so easily. You dash over to the kitchen, hiding behind the counter. Takes a little longer this time for the cat to find you. This time, when it does, it startles you by hopping down into your lap from the countertop above. Whoa! You found me again! Okay, you win. You're rewarded with little scratches behind the ear and under the chin while it's leaning into your touch. Okay, why don't you give it a try? You go ahead and stand in the middle of the living room, the cat following you. You make a show of covering your eyes and turning around. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! You turn around and see that the cat is gone. You sure catch on quick. There aren't that many places available in your apartment for someone your size to hide. Without opposable thumbs needed to open the closed doors in the hall, the cat will have its limits too. Fair game. Okay, now where to look? Let's do the living room. Look behind the couch and the armchair, then under the coffee table. Nothing. Living room is pretty sparse when it comes to furniture, after all. Let's do the kitchen. You peek around the corner, grab a chair, and check on top of the fridge. You even open the cupboards along the floor, just in case the cat managed to squeeze inside. Nothing. You decide that's for the best. The kitchen is for making food, not playing games. Hallway. You peek around the corner into the hall. Nothing. You're not sure what you were expecting. With all the doors closed, there's nowhere in the hall for the cat to hide. You couldn't find the cat anywhere. You start to get a little worried when you hear a soft sound coming from the hall. You head to the hall and listen again. That sounded like it was coming from your bedroom, but you walk down the hall to your room and gingerly open the door. The cat trots out and runs around your legs and meowing incessantly. It looks disappointed somehow. Perhaps in your apparently subpar seeking skills, but you lift the cat into your arms and look at your bedroom door. How did you get in my room? You know the door was closed, right? The cat wiggles out of your hold and runs out of the hall. You follow to see it sitting in the middle of the living room. Upon seeing you, the cat promptly turns around. Guess it wants to take its turn seeking? You're about to indulge it by hiding around the corner again when... the lights. Did the power go out? Darn it. As you wait for your eyes to adjust to the darkness, you notice the cat hasn't moved an inch. Was it scared? Hey, are you? Huh? What? For some reason, your heart starts beating faster. You consider going over to the cat, but when you do, the thought makes you feel like your life is in danger. You need to hide. Now. No, I didn't want to. No. Hide in the hallway closet. Just slip quietly into the hall closet. The door won't close because a heavy box is now blocking it after you squeezed inside. If you try to move it further, the cat might hear it. That's it. If it hasn't heard you already, this won't work. You need to hide somewhere else. Hurry! Behind the bathroom. You quietly rush to the bathroom and... What? Why is the door locked? You freeze upon realizing how much noise you just made jostling the doorknob and hold your breath, listening. The silence coming from the living room feels heavier than before, more restless. Even if some miracle opened the door now, it would know exactly where you were. No good. In your bedroom? immediately rush into the bedroom, carefully closing the door behind you. The only place to hide in your bedroom is your closet. Hide in the closet. You lock the door as quietly as you can before lunging into the closet and sliding the door shut. As soon as you have secured yourself in the closet, there's this sudden shift throughout the entire apartment, as if something can sense that you're as ready as you'll ever be. As if it can sense that you're ready to be hunted. A horrible chill runs down your spine as you realize that's what this game has become. It's not a simple game of hide and seek anymore. This is being hunted by a predator as prey. It never really mattered where you chose to hide, did it? Bam! As if to answer your question, you hear a loud slam on the bedroom door. You just managed to hold back from making a startled noise at the sound. Your heartbeat kicks up again, making it feel hard to breathe quietly, hard to breathe in general. Tears fill your eyes as you cover your panting mouth with your shaking hands. It knows. Crying with your hands over your mouth, trying to smother the choked sounds leaking out of you. You slide down the wall at the back of your closet into a heap on the floor. You flinch harshly at the sound of the door being ripped off its hinges, followed by a loud crash against the wall on the other side of the room, like the door had been blown away. The silence that follows, it's almost too much to bear. You can't. A single sob escapes through your nose. You squeeze your eyes shut in defeat at how loud it sounds in the quiet of the room. Not much point in hiding it anymore, anyway, is there? You instinctively put whatever energy you have left into listening for footsteps, even as you emotionally shut down. But you hear nothing. 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 Then something slides open the closet door. You've crawled in on yourself, knees up, back curved forward, head down, mouth covered, eyes shut tight, so tight it hurts. You don't want to look. You don't want to look, but that's what it's waiting for. It will end you without its final act of cruelty, of making you look at it before it takes your life. So cruel. You just want this to be over. So, you open your eyes. You see something glaring in at you from the darkness beyond the closet door. It looks disappointed. In the moment before you draw your last breath, you almost consider apologizing for being such an unworthy prey. Guess your hiding skills were just as subpar as your seeking skills. Ending 13, disappointing prey. What cat doesn't love playing with some yarn? The cat loses its mind over a tiny red dot. Hilarious. You can't run. Apparently you can't hide either. I am curious if we do get out of the apartment. halfway to the front door when you look at the door and see several more locks over it than you know you have. Peek over the cat, it's not looking at you, but you feel a wave of disappointment practically pouring from it into you. It feels almost like a warning. You back away from the door and feel slow, and the feeling slowly subsides, letting you breathe again. There's no getting out then. You need to hide. Sit on the couch? You joking? You get the feeling the cat wouldn't appreciate your lack of effort anyway. Like hell you're getting any closer to it. Stop messing around and find a place to hide. Hide behind the armchair? No, that's too close. It'd find you immediately. Behind the kitchen counter. You've hidden there before, and it found you almost immediately. That wouldn't work. Hide in the hall. Just in the hall? There's nowhere to hide in the hall. I'm curious what happens if we let the timer run out. Hide in the hallway closet. So, into the hallway closet. The door won't close because of heavy boxes. Okay, we've gone through this. How disappointing. You failed. Try again? No. Okay, so that doesn't give us a new ending at all. Okie dokie. Let's clean the cat. Upon giving it a second look, realize the cat isn't exactly clean. Not surprising, since up until you brought it home, it's been sitting in a dirty old box. In an alley full of scattered garbage, for who knows how long, you've heard that the cats can keep themselves clean, but maybe this is one of those times that a little human help couldn't hurt? I'm curious how we get those 9 other endings, because we're at what, 13? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I mean, unless there's... We'll see. You head into the bathroom and set things up, trying to remember how to wash a cat. You're definitely no expert, but you think that the best way to get a cat clean would be... quickly. Cats don't like water, you think, so a quick wash would be the way to go, right? You decide to do everything at once, filling the tub deep with soapy, bubbly, warm water. A quick dunk there, a short scrub in there, and then rinse and dry. The cat won't even know what hit it before everything's over. You open the door and click your tongue, beckoning the cat inside. I don't even know if I read that. You open the door and click your tongue, beckoning the cat inside. It quickly scampers in, curious at the newly available setting. You close the door so it won't be able to run out and make a mess of the apartment. Steeling yourself, you roll up your sleeves, you lift up the cat and carry it over the tub. Your plan's already compromised as the cat starts to struggle in your hold. Probably should have held it so it couldn't see the water. Ow, ow, hey! It scratches at your arms. You knew it wouldn't be happy about the water. didn't think it'd be this rate. Still, as mad as it will be at you for a little while, you know this is for the best. A deep scratch to your bicep startles you, making you drop the cat into the tub. Splash! Shoot! Kitty! The cat doesn't reemerge, hissing and yowling like you thought it would. You rush over and dunk your arms beneath the soapy surface, searching for the cat. What if it bumped its head and blacked out? It would drown! But you don't find the cat. Instead... what the... You watch as the water starts to darken. At first, you think it's just dirt from the cat, and feel a little vindicated about your decision, but... The water darkens further and further, until it looks like you've filled your tub with black ink, rather than water. Even the soap bubbles are a translucent obsidian now. This is... something's not right. But as soon as you have this thought... Whoa! You felt something tugging you from under the water. You try to pull away, but your arms won't budge. Whatever it is, it pulls you closer towards the water. You try to use your free hand to release the drain plug. But when you dunk your other arm in the water without thinking, it's grabbed too. Both hands are strained. You can't get any leverage to force yourself free. Help! Splash. You're dragged into the murky waters of the tub. You're dragged down and down and down further still. Much further than it should be possible for your bathtub. You can't breathe. You think you can't see either, but as you draw your final breath, you think you see what's been pulling you down. Something resting deep, deep down below. Something waiting for you. Ending 14. Bath Hater. Do it carefully. You think careful is the way to go. Cats aren't always fond of water, so you doubt I'll be a fan of an excessive amount of it. So, you pick the cat up and place it gently in the sink before turning on the water. The cat is startled, but ultimately doesn't try to run away. Nice. You lather your hands with some soap and carefully give the cat a thorough half-scrub, half-massage. After a few minutes, you rinse the cat completely and gather it up in a blanket, drying it. Then you take a brush and carefully run it through the cat's fur. The cat seems like it's in heaven as you brush it. Some hairs are sticking to you, but you don't mind. Oh. In fact, quite a lot of fur sticking to you. You try to brush it away, but it won't come off. Guess you're up next for the bath yourself. You try to ignore the fur and finish the cat quickly, but more hair keeps sticking to you. Your hands, your arms. Before you realize it, you're covered in fur that won't come off. It's thick enough that you try to yank it off, but... Ow! What? Pain lances at the spot you tugged at. Upon closer inspection, you see that the hair is growing out of you. Ha! Ha! You can actually feel it now. Fur growing out of your back, your neck, your face, your eyes, your tongue. It's even growing inside your throat. collapse and start to choke on the thickening fur in your esophagus. The cat leaps up to lap at the fur growing on your forehead, grooming your hair as thoroughly as you did for it earlier. You think it'd be sweet if you weren't currently losing air. Still, feels nice at least to be looked after and cared for in some way, even if it is just a little while longer. The cat's careful grooming is the last thing you feel before you're no longer able to breathe. Self-care buddies. Walking. Okay, was there any, other option? Okay. Because the thing is, we are now... No, not my menu. Stuff with the bath. Unless there's some stuff with... Okay, we've played all three. We've fed all three. We've pet the cat. We've cleaned the apartment both ways. We watched a movie both ways. We've taken a nap both ways. Actually, yeah. Let's go back to my menu. Let's continue. Do not take the cat home. Never take it home. Responsible adult. You are. What to do? You're not ready. Leave the cat. Cinema. Oh, did we not go to the new cinema last time? Oopsie. Okay. New cinema. You don't know why, but you really don't feel like to be alone right now. Deciding to wait for a movie you've been anticipating to be available on DVD or streaming, you join the line outside the new cinema. By the time you've reached the ticket booth, you just want to get out inside. So you pick up a movie at random and take your ticket from the tired-looking teenager managing the booth. The decor is chic and sleek, and inside is bustling with people. It's not what you're usually into, but it's kind of nice not being alone. Even if you feel a little lonely watching families and groups of friends laughing among themselves. You get some popcorn, but the line at concession stands are long and the prices are criminal anyway. You go through the halls and follow the signs to the theater designated on your ticket before heading inside. You sigh at the sight of the absolutely crowded theater. You head towards a seat only to be told by the person next to it that is being saved for someone. This happens a few more times before you finally manage to get yourself settled into a seat annoyingly off-center to the screen. But the screen is at least visible, if not a little too close, so you grit your teeth and bear it. The lights fade out, but the chatter doesn't. The rest of the audience seems content to talk through the commercials and even through the trailers. You figure the chatter will stop when the movie actually begins, but doesn't even get slightly quieter as the opening scene starts to play out. You sigh out loud, not thinking anyone would hear you anyway. This is why you avoid movie theaters like the plague. Suddenly, the screen changes, showing the face of a black cat. A familiar black cat. Confused murmurs fill the room, and then the cat on screen meows. sound is strange and not at all like any cat should sound. Haunting, almost melodic, and layered as if made of multiple voices of different creatures. Creatures that would probably never say. You sit in confusion, wondering why you haven't already gotten up and left to complain to the cinema staff. But then you hear it. It's scattered and dissonant at first, but among the crowd, people start to chant along with the cat on the screen. Soon, the entire room is chanting in perfect unison, everyone staring intently at the cat on the screen. You're feeling strangely drawn to the screen yourself, but the compulsion to stare blankly like the others isn't that strong. For now. Also, you start to notice out of the corner of your eye that some of the people in your immediate vicinity are looking at you. No, they're outright staring holes into you, even as they continue chanting. They don't miss a beat as they slowly begin to frown at you in blatant disapproval. Their scowls deepen as time goes on, as if they're getting impatient. Just try and leave the theater. This is too weird. I need to get out of here. Gathering your courage, or perhaps putting your fear to use, you stand up, fully intending to leave the theater, when everything comes to an abrupt stop. All of the chanting stops, even the cat's chanting on the screen. You tense and risk a glance around the theater. They're all staring at you. Every single one of them. They're not moving. They're not even blinking. You swallow, throat suddenly dry, even though a nervous sweat completely soaks through your clothes. You highly doubt that sitting back down will fix the situation. Your legs are shaking under the audience's unnatural, intense scrutiny, but you force yourself to step forward and forward and forward until you finally reach the end of the aisle. You feel their collective gaze even worse on the staircase. All their heads have turned uncomfortably to the left to look directly at you. The screen illuminates their faces, making clear in their blank scowls. They seem even more upset than they had been minutes ago, identical frown lines digging between their brows. You keep going, the heavy atmosphere becoming more and more oppressive with every step. You're so tense with anticipation that you fully expect someone to grab you from behind. But no one does. You don't hear any of them even get up. You exit the theater, holding your breath as the doors close behind you. You briskly walk through the halls, putting as much distance as possible between you and that theater full of people. Finally reaching the lobby, you just barely manage to catch yourself from falling to the floor as you gulp in huge gasps of air. You expect to feel relief as your breathing calms, but you feel a lingering sense of dread that only spikes once you finally notice it, as well as its source. You look up, and your stomach sinks. all the people in the lobby area of the movie theater. Everyone in line at the concession stand. All of them are staring at you, and they look even angrier than the people in the theater. You don't hesitate this time. You duck your head, avoiding eye contact, and leave the cinema. You ignore the glares at everyone in the ticket booths and lines leading to them. You make your way home. Whenever you dare to look up at someone on the way, you flinch at the blatant anger, fury, and disgust on their face. You think you start to hear the faint sounds of a cat's meowing behind you, or maybe a kitten's? Doesn't matter, you just want to go home. You reach your front door and fumble with the keys, cowering from the look of pure hatred on your neighbor's face as he stares at you from his door. Finally, you get inside your apartment, lock all the locks on the door, and slide down with your back against it till you're sitting on the floor. You allow yourself a moment to breathe. Now home, your heartbeat calms and your fear slowly bleeds from you, leaving you feeling strangely empty. You pass the kitchen, head to your room, and slip under the covers of your bed, trying to fall asleep. Maybe it's all just a bad dream, as you fall into a fitful sleep, sure to be full of nightmares of glaring eyes. You try to ignore the ever-increasing sounds of cats meowing and yowling in the distance outside your apartment. Ending 17, Black Sheep. You weren't a big fan of the movie in the new cinema, so the audience might have opinions about that. Okay. Try to blend in with the crowd. Thinking fast, you look at the screen and begin to chant in tandem with the crowd. Nya, 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 ha, 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 ha. Nya, 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 ha, 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 ha. You feel the harshness of their collective gaze start to ebb away. The air in the theater becoming lighter once again. Nya, 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 and You release air shakily, just realizing that you'd been holding your breath earlier. You feel stuck. Surely you can't just up and leave now. Not after whatever all that was. The people around you seem fine now. But there's no telling if they'd get aggressive at you for even moving too much. Never mind outright getting up and leaving. You decide to let this run its course. Hopefully someone will come along, right? Or at least turn the film off. You continue to chant along with everyone. Nya, 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 You start to feel lightheaded. You feel as if you could fall asleep, but your eyes don't feel heavy in the slightest. You try to look around and gauge the other's emotional state. But you can't seem to look away from the screen. You try again, but you're still locked into eye contact with the cat on screen. attempt to physically force your line of vision away. You steel your nerves, ready to throw yourself to the ground if you need to, but your body only gets as far as tensing you for a moment before completely losing itself again, making you lay back limply into your seat. You think you should be panicking right now, but even your brain feels limp. Your thoughts, a vaguely muted pastel pink, airy, sickeningly sweet and loosely spun. Like cotton candy. You like cotton candy. I think you shouldn't mind your thoughts and body being cotton candy either. You think you shouldn't abandon cotton candy either, so why get up and ruin that? It's nice here. You're more at peace than you've ever felt before in such a crowded room. Still chanting, you've never felt so aligned and in tune with another person, let alone with an entire room full of complete strangers. You're not alone. Out of the corner of your eye, the person next to you starts to sink back even further into their chair. And then they sink more. Then more. Not like they're slouching or reclining, but more like they're deflating. Their skin bunches up and wrinkles like fabric, as if their muscles, their bones have started to disintegrate. Their eyes dim before sinking into their sockets. Their mouth, still attempting to chant, while it's open over a cutoff of nya, gaping as the word ends in an awful hiss, a final, weak release of air. You muse thoughtfully about whether or not you should be distressed at the sight. But even then, the blanket of peace doesn't leave you. Suddenly, from the pile of skin and clothes next to you, you see a lump moving around. Oh my god, is it gonna be a kitty cat? You watch in dazed fascination as the lump makes its way to the part of the skin where the head used to be. And out from the mouth crawls a tiny black kitten. Nya, 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 You can hear the familiar hissing sound all around you now as the unified chants start to fade, only to be replaced with the faint mewling of kittens. Finally, your voice is the only one still chanting, still human, and alone again. You don't want that. You can't go back to that. Not again, please. Just then, you go completely limp. Your body feels light, and it might as well weigh several tons, because you realize suddenly that you can't move, not an inch. You can't shift your eyes to look around. You can't even breathe, but somehow, the chant continues to creak weakly from your mouth. Yeah, 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 A few kittens come forward and perch themselves on the chairs around you, watching your sinking body, mewling as they wait for their youngest sibling to emerge. From Mew. Dozens of glowing eyes peer down at you. And as your eyes start to cave into the sockets of your softening skull, you manage to make out the silhouette of a familiar cat perching on the seat right in front of you. Your vision finally fades as that same hiss of air expels itself from your mouth. The last thing you sense is something small and alive shifting eagerly under your skin. Happy ending 18. Happy birthday. Let's go to the carnival. You spend the day at the carnival. Ferris wheel, roller coaster, pharaoh boat. Rides you've been on before. Hoops, coin toss, balloon darts. Games you've played before. Funnel cake, popcorn, cotton candy. Food you've eaten before. All things you've enjoyed before. You're surrounded by groups of people all having fun together. Laughing, playing, eating, taking pictures, making memories. And then there's you. The sun hasn't started to set yet. It's still high in the sky, but it will soon. You start to wonder if maybe you should just go home for the day. When you stop in your tracks, you see something new, an attraction you've never seen before. A maze of funhouse mirrors? It sounds kind of lame, honestly. There isn't even a line to get in. But then, what else is there to do? Something else? There's gotta be a better way to spend your day off than wandering around staring at weird mirrors. Now what? Let's do the old theater. Just because I think that one's beforehand, so let's do that, then we can do the carnival, then we can go to the dog park, and then I think we get close to the ending of the game. I was gonna make this 3 parts, but we're doing so well. You eagerly buy your ticket from the kind old man in the booth and head inside. It's barren of any trace of other people, and the decor looks like it hasn't changed since the 80s. Maybe even the 70s. But it's what you're counting on. You consider buying some popcorn, but can't help but be concerned that everything at the concession stand might be expired. You move on and walk through the halls, finally locating the theater designated on your ticket stub. As expected, the theater your movie will be playing in is completely empty. Perfect. You pick a spot right in the middle, even counting the seats and taking into consideration the gap of the staircase. As you settle in, the dim lights fade away, leaving the room pitch black for a few seconds. Before the screen flickers on, no commercials or trailers pop up. The movie just begins. Pleased, you shrug and let yourself get immersed in the opening scene. But just as you're getting into the premise, the doors open behind you, momentarily casting light into the room and ruining the atmosphere. You hold a frustrated sigh. It is a public establishment after all. The place can't exactly afford to stay open if you're the only customer. You try to refocus on the movie, but you sense the new presence slowly shifting around the theater before heading in your general direction. What? You gape in utter disbelief as the stranger shuffles down the aisle, only to sit right in front of you. There's no one else here and plenty of places to sit. The stranger is also unusually tall. Even with the stadium-like arrangement of the seats being on a somewhat steep incline, they're completely blocking your view. move to another spot. You don't want to risk escalating the situation further. This whole thing is already making you uneasy. Why would they choose to sit right in front of you? Surely they know you wouldn't be able to see past them? Shaking your head with a passive-aggressive scoff at the stranger's direction, you reluctantly pick another, less perfect seat in the theater. But as you settle down, you see the strange person get up, only to once again sit down in the seat directly in front of you. You look around somewhat helplessly, as if waiting for someone to silently agree with you about how odd all of this is. Or at least inform you that this is all an elaborate prank. But no one else is here with you. That's how you've always liked it, but you can't help but think maybe it'd be nice to have someone else here if it meant not being alone with this weird jerk. I'll confront him this time. You hate confrontation. You already feel your palms starting to sweat at the idea of it. Your throat closing up, and your body starting to shake. You've always been more of a flighter than a fighter, but you paid for this ticket. You've wanted to watch this movie for ages, and now this total stranger has ruined an entire experience for you. You're all alone in this theater. There's no one who will help you if something goes wrong. But you're angry enough that you ignore the signs of your body begging you to put as much distance as you can between yourself and the stranger. You stand up. Even standing and higher up on the incline, the stranger is still at least a head taller than you. The movie continues to play in the background, but you feel as if a hush immediately falls heavily over the theater at your movement, as if you can sense the stranger anticipating what you plan to do next. You square your shoulders and force a little bass into your voice. Hey! The effort makes your words come out more harshly than you intended, like a sudden and vicious bark. But you figure they deserved it anyway. You're being a real jerk, you know that? Just what are you playing at, huh? You trying to piss me off? The silence that follows your words is deafening. So much so that you glance at the screen only to find that the movie has paused. Huh? Your attention is ripped back to the stranger in front of you as they shift slightly. Like a small animal trying desperately to anticipate the moves of a predator, you don't move an inch. You don't look away. You don't dare to blink. Instead, your eyes widen as the person's head turns, then turns some more, then turns more. Beyond possible, what should be possible, neck bones cracking to face you directly. You can't move. Wide, glowing eyes resting above a wider, grinning mouth gaze down at you. The stranger opens their mouth, and what comes out is something impossible to comprehend. The voice is endlessly deep and creaks like a weighty door, foreboding and oddly melodic, alluring. But it also snaps you out your terrified trance, and before you know it, you're already out the door. You run through the halls of the empty theater, heading to the exit. You feel something watching you from behind, but you're too afraid to look. The exit now in sight, you sprint forward and burst through the doors. You look around frantically and spot the crowded cinema across the street. People! That's what you need, safety, numbers, and all that. Without thinking, you rush into the street when a sinking sensation crawls down your spine, compelling you to look behind you. new cinema. Refusing to even risk a peek over your shoulder, you rush across the street to the new cinema theater. You didn't realize that it felt like you've been surrounded by some kind of dreadful pressure. Until it very suddenly vanishes, leaving you feeling more than a little shaken. But at least breathing comes easier. I think it's within your best interest to repress everything that just happened. Yeah. Okay, so let's... No, we're not overriding. I would like to load. We're gonna look behind us. Despite your resistance, you feel your head turning to look back on its own accord. While in the middle of the street, you catch a glimpse of a grotesque-looking person standing behind the glass doors of the old theater, watching you intensely, cradling something in their arms. Something familiar. But... Huh? A glimpse is all you get, as a truck speeds forward and crashes into your body. Oh my god, am I gonna be isekai'd? It's the isekai truck! Oh my god! You're killed on impact. Your body splattered across the road and crushed further under the heavy tires. Ending 16, poor screening arrangements. Is that what we needed? Yes. Go to the old theater and enjoy a film with an interesting stranger. Okay. Let's go ahead and load here. We're going to enter the maze. You enter the maze. A few rooms in, and you notice that the mirrors aren't all weird. Some just show you looking back at yourself. A little bored, a lot tired, and so very, very... Maybe this was a mistake. Why did you think going into a maze of mirrors was a good idea? Even if it was something new to experience. I can't do this today. You turn around to head back the way you came, only to bump into a mirror. Ow! Where's the exit? You try again, only to find another mirror blocking your way. By the time you're all turned around, you realize that the way you came is completely gone. Huh? Okay, don't panic, I have to keep going forward, right? You step through the only opening you can find and nearly trip over something on the ground. You bend down and pick it up. Huh? What's this doing here? In your hand rests a worn-looking flashlight. Curiously, you flick it on. Huh. The light doesn't look very... Crap, the lights! Did the power go out, or did the attraction operator forget you were in here? How long have you been in here, actually? Pull out your phone to check the time, or maybe call the police? Your phone is dead. You grip the flashlight in your hand. The light it emanated earlier was dim enough for you to know there's probably not that much juice left. Best to reserve it for the worst case scenario and feel your way out. Yeah, you can do this. You take a calming breath. Well, forward we go. Hello, darling adventurer. Who said that? Welcome to the mirror maze. Would you like to know how to navigate the maze? Yes, I need help. Once again, welcome to the mirror maze. You're in a bit of a jam, but don't worry. You're in good hands. Or rather, good paws. See these cute little cooties here? They'll be doing their best to guide you through the maze. Aren't they generous? When you enter a room, the emergency light will flash, letting you see the paths before you for a second. And also what lies beyond them. Whenever you see these kind kitties, just go where they are and you'll reach the next room. Unfortunately, they're not the only things in here. It is highly suggested you refrain from following any of our other guests. They can be sneaky or distracting, but they're always hostile. So please take caution when advancing to the next room. Of course, this wouldn't be much of a mirror maze without mirrors. Can they hurt you? No, they're just mirrors, silly. They don't do anything at all, and you can't do anything to them either. They're just obstacles you can't pass through. Go left, go center, or go right. The choice is yours, though if you find a room with no helpful kitties in sight, and all the paths lead to a mirror or something else, it's recommended that you stay put, and just maybe it will work itself out. Now for your navigation tools. That flashlight you found doesn't have much juice left. It'll only let you get a quick extra peek at your surroundings about 5 times. So try not to use it all up at once. You can keep track of your progress through rooms up to the left, and your lives up to the right. You've got 3 lives, so be careful to avoid the less friendly guests lurking around. Why only 3 lives, you ask? Because you're soft and squishy. It won't take much to damage you beyond repair. Besides, you're human, and humans usually only have 1 life, yes? And yet here, you get 3. Don't you think you ought to show a little more gratitude? And that's an end of your tutorial. Hope it was helpful. Are you ready to play? What would you like to know? Can you let me go? Your request to forfeit is denied. Let me out of here. Screaming is not allowed in the maze. What would you like to know? Reset settings, you got it. What would you like to know? This game is way too easy. Is that so? There, all done. Wait, what did you do? You'll see. Ready to play? Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Right. Okay, next room. Right. Okay, next room. Okay, go left. Stay. The room feels off. Just wait. I think something just changed. Let's go left. Okay, next room. Left. Stay. Okay, center. I'm gonna go right. 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 Center. Center. Stay. Left. Center. Right. Center. Left. Center. Center. Left. Left. Stay. You see at the exit. You run forward, but as you do, the scenery shifts. Just slightly at first. But you're running too fast to stop yourself from colliding into the glass. Except you don't quite go into the glass. You don't exactly collide with it either. You simply pass through it. On the other side, you see an endless white void and... Huh? Yourself? Dozens of you. Hundreds of you wandering around. Aimless, faceless, and empty. So empty and listless, they don't even acknowledge your presence. You try to turn back, but the glass doesn't give. Past the glass, a familiar black cat walks up and looks at you. You think it meows at you, but you can't make out the sound. It tilts its head, then walks away. The glass goes dark. Then you watch helplessly as it disappears completely. You're trapped with only yourself as company. Ending 19. You beat the maze. Okay, I'm wondering if there is one where you don't beat the maze. We'll see how that goes. If not, then there's 2 within the dog park, I think. Suddenly, the lights turn on. Your eyes burn from the sudden brightness. As your vision adjusts, you see that you're completely surrounded by mirrors. The reflections, all grotesque in unusual ways, look nothing like you. But they do look hungry. You back up. You don't know where to go. Was there even a way out to begin with? You bump into a mirror and feel a hand firmly grip your shoulder. Chomp! The sharp pain in your other shoulder. You rip away, looking back to see some thing leading out of the mirror. Its face has no features, save for a large, gaping mouth, stained in your blood. Looking around in panic, you think that the mirrors feel closer than before. The path you come in from is long gone. You're surrounded, and every time you blink, you could swear the mirrors were getting closer and closer and closer. Your horrifying reflections looking hungrier and hungrier and hungry. Ending 20. You failed the maze. Okay, we'll continue through, that's fine. You're walking, right, of course. Do not take the cat home. Skip, we're leaving the cat. Ignore. Going to the dog park. You decide to take a stroll in the park or something. The only one within walking distance is a nearby dog park. You think it'll make you feel better. First, you get to see a cute cat today. Now you get to see a cute dog. Several of them, in fact. The park is bustling with owners and their canine companions. Playing frisbee, fetch, running, jumping, even napping. Such cuties, whatever. Like you'd want anything to do with these mangy mutts. Huh? What's wrong? You didn't think that? You decide to move on. The dogs are all so adorable. You want to pet every single one you come across. But you know, not all owners are cool with strangers just walking up and manhandling their pets. Not all dogs appreciate it either. So, as you stroll around the path, trying to exude a welcoming aura that will beckon one of these cute doggies to you, you don't have to wait very long. cutest puppy you've ever seen scampers up to you, blocking your path. Don't they stop? Leave the park. Yes, leave. Leave. Dogs are stupid. No, I don't wanna hurt the puppy. Kick the puppy. What? It's just a puppy. There's no way I would ever do that. No, that's horrible. There's no way I would ever do that. That's disgusting. I think I'm gonna be sick. There's no way I would ever do that. Pick up the puppy. Pick up the puppy and... Hold on. You just barely managed to rein in the reflex to throw the puppy as far away from you as possible. With shaking hands, you quickly place the puppy on the grass and take several jerky steps back. The owner seems confused by your reaction to their puppy, but you just wave to them in a daze before hastily stumbling away. You're not feeling so great about being at a park at the moment. Maybe you should leave? I'll stay. You stay at the park. You try to calm down by watching all the dogs from afar as you walk along the path, but every so often one will run up to you, and when they do, they look wrong. Their owners don't seem to notice. You find a bench and sit down for a quick break, closing your eyes. Maybe this wasn't the best idea after all. Maybe you should have stayed with me instead. Huh? You've broken out of your thoughts as something lands gently on your lap. You look down and see a frisbee on your thighs. Hey, sorry about that. Can you throw that back? You look up to see an owner waving at you in the distance. But more importantly... Huh? A series of excited barks jerk your gaze forward, and you see a large dog sprinting towards you. A series of excited barks jerk your gaze forward, and you see a large dog sprinting towards you. Hey, hurry and throw it back! Oh, The dog suddenly bounds at you, angry, furious, tears your lymph. Was that real? Maybe you're not feeling so great. We're gonna stay at the park. Throw! You throw the frisbee and the dog runs in the opposite direction, jumping and catching it right out of the air. Impressive! The dog and the owner walk up to you. Thanks for that. You can pet him if you want. The dog looks at you, eager for its reward of pets and pats for catching the frisbee. Should I? Pet dog! Really? Are you sure? I'm warning you. Do not touch that mutt, or you will regret it. Pet the dog! You reach out your hand and pet the dog. The dog seems pleased. You don't feel well. Suddenly, the sky begins to darken rapidly. You look up along with all the pet owners to see the sun has been eclipsed by the moon in a blink of an eye. vaguely remember that you should never look directly at an eclipse, but for some reason, you don't look away. A loud, piercing yowl fills the air, shaking the ground beneath you. You instinctively move to lift your hands in order to shield your ears, but the hand that's been cautiously pressed upon the dog's head comes away with some resistance. Resistance like sticky slime almost cementing your hand to the dog's head. The slime stretches with your movement. The dog's head stretches with it too as the canine begins to just melt. It melts and melts until it becomes a pile of goo at your feet. You dazed look around for the dog's owner, only to find an empty pile of familiar clothes where they once stood. You see similar piles of clothing next to piles of goo scattered all across the park's open field. All the dogs, all their owners. The melted goo of the dog in front of you then starts to move with a shudder. They're gonna become one big kitty cat. It slithers across the grass towards the field in the center of the park. All the other piles of goo following after it. They mix and meld together into a single entity that shifts and undulates and bulges and grows. You watched in dazed horror as it then fills out and shapes itself into a cat. Oh no, big dog, big dog. Into a behemoth of a dog, snarling and frothing at the mouth, red eyes frantic and searching. Before the glowing orbs land directly at you. The rumbling growls it emits is so low and deep, you can feel the sound of it crash into you. Leave the park? No, you had your chance. Better start running. You try to run, but you're not fast enough. The behemoth barely takes a few leaps before it's already towering over you. It tears you apart until there's nothing left. Ending 21, dog person. Oh, does that mean I got all of them? Better luck next time. Congrats, you beat the maze. Wow. Have a pleasant day at the dog park. 36, 37, 38, 39. Okay. You've been enjoying yourself, haven't you? Yes, I as well. Still, all good things must come to an end, and I believe you are ready.
I'll be right back. I have to pee again. Be right back.
Take any meds if you need to. Grab some water, grab some food. And like I said, I'll be right back. I am back. I grabbed myself another drink. So I drank all of the Gatorade I have. So instead, I am drinking Body Armor Fruit Punch. Not sponsored. Don't take the cat home. Sadly, excuse the cat is. You'd never take that thing home. You are ready. Only one thing left. So, what should you do with a cat that has been very, very, very naughty? Hint? Very, very naughty. Need another hint. It's something it deserves. Something final. Another hint? Something it has been doing to you this entire time. Over and over and over again. Still not following. The act of taking a life? Okay, one more hint. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not reading that out loud. Oh my god, I wasn't showing the thing. We're gonna go back. Okay, so read all the hints, basically. So begin restoration. It was something I didn't want to say. Oh, hi, Mo! We're gonna take the cat's taking a long-term nap, guys. Really? Are you sure? Maybe not. Okay, yeah, I think we have to. Yes. Once you do this, you won't be able to turn back. Do it. Last chance. Are you really, really sure about this? There's a point of no return. Are you sure there's nothing else you wish to do? You guys want us to play forever? We will. Forever and ever and ever. I just don't know if I like... Because that was with... This with that. I wonder if I do the... We'll play with the cat real quick. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay. I was just wondering, because that was the last time we had something similar to that. Because it tends to go in order, so I feel like we're gonna have some last two choices that have branching choices from that. You ready? Do it. you, Mill the cat. Its corpse lays limp and lifeless in its now blood-stained cardboard box. Oh, hi. Thanks for saying welcome back. What would you like to do? Check pockets. There's no point. The cat is dead. You dig in your pockets anyway. Left pocket. String. Useless. Right pocket. Chocolate. You eat the chocolate. You have your phone. Take a picture. No point. The cat is dead. What would you like to do? Look around the area. What are you looking for? The cat is dead. You look anyway. You look to your left and your right. Nothing but trash. You look up. The sun never reaches in here well enough. But you can tell that it's a beautiful day today. You look behind you. Nobody saw. You look down in front of you. Oh yeah, the cat is dead. What would you like to do? Leave. You're done here. You turn around and leave the alley. Huh? At least you tried to. As you stand at the edge of the alley's entrance, you see that nothing exists beyond it. Just an empty, black void. You turn back. And see that the back of the alley has become shrouded in darkness. You can't see a thing. Leave the alley, but there's nothing there. Approach the darkness. With no other options, you step towards the darkness. Closer and closer and slash! Your slash, slash. You collapse to your knees. The front of your body is slashed open, leaking blood and guts and organs down your torso and over your lap. Don't you know that cats have 9 lives? Ooh. Slash. 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 Ending 36. 8 more lives. Do not take it home. Well, that's one down. Good luck on the rest. Sorry if you can hear my grandma in the background. She's talking to her sister. I never believed in unconditional love. Not even as young as I was on the day that changed my life forever. Still, I always assumed that they would come the closest to granting it to me. That's what they always say, right? That a parent's love is unconditional. The wounds they'd inflict on my skin and in my heart had long since scarred over the day they dealt the final blow. And all it took were 2 little words. Get out. The day they finally turned their backs on me, abandoned me. That was the day it found me. It offered me an unfathomable kind of love. A love that could be limitless, endless, powerful, all-consuming. A love unmatched. A love unlike anything that could exist in this world. But there was one thing that the love it offered could never be. unconditional. Huh? Where am I? And so, you find yourself here, yet again. What? Who said that? And where is here? I don't see anything. Why? Here is here, silly. You're...
Well, do you remember me this time? I've never would have thought myself to be so forgettable, but I suppose it's the first time for everything.
Your memory slowly pieces together fragments of a moment, an encounter, a cat in an alley. I took you home with me, didn't I?
Correct. You were daydreaming so long you had me worried. Can you imagine that? Here I am, indulging a little and playing with my prey, only for you to completely zone out on me. The game's no fun if you're not present, you know?
No, I don't know. I don't understand what's going on at all.
Curious as you are, I suppose. I should have expected that you'd have questions. Well, I suppose you've put me in good enough mood to be generous and hear you out. Very well. What would you like to know?
What did you mean I was daydreaming?
It's the first thing that came to mind, really. You were on the brink of death, but instead of watching your life flash before your eyes, you got stuck reliving the moment we met. Subconsciously coming up with scenarios in which you managed to survive. Well, maybe you would have, but I couldn't resist messing with your imagination a little bit. You did just start ignoring me out of nowhere, after all. You know by now how much I love attention. Your little thought experiments were rather amusing. But if I might say, you must have had a pretty dull life to forgo indulging in precious memories of bygone days, in favor of daydreaming about a single encounter, over and over and over again. I've heard of having regrets on one's deathbed, but this has been ridiculous. Ridiculously intriguing, that is. Or perhaps rather than regrets, I was what you found interesting?
Am I still dreaming?
You're lucid, I'd say, since you're finally remembered me and all. Seems you're finally ready to end this farce, amusing as it has been. Would you like to know? What else would you like to know?
Where are we right now?
Inside your head, silly. The real versions of ourselves are halted in time back in your reality, though I doubt much time has actually passed. These things tend to happen in a blink of an eye, after all. Well, usually anyway. What would you like to know?
Why do you keep killing me?
Oh, don't be so dramatic. I don't keep killing you. I haven't even killed you once yet. Those were just thoughts and ideas floating around in your head that I admittedly had a little fun with. Can you blame me? I would have gotten bored just waiting for you to wake up.
You even made me kill you in the end.
I suppose I was curious to see if you actually would. You certainly didn't hold back. You must have been quite angry with me. It's fine, though. You know what they say about curiosity, yes? It was my own choice, and besides, I got you back, didn't I?
You're a cat. How are you talking?
What do you mean? I've been talking to you all along. Intriguing as your imagination is, it would have ran wild without my help. I was guiding you the whole time. Didn't you hear me in your thoughts? Like this?
But you're a cat. How are you doing this?
I'm powerful, yes, but also not so much.
What does that mean?
Besides, what makes you so sure that I'm a cat? My appearance? I doubt I resemble any cat you've seen before, right?
Then what the hell are you if you're not a cat?
I didn't say I wasn't a cat, did I? I could be a demon, a god, or an alien from another galaxy. Or an interdimensional abomination. Or I really could just be a cat. It doesn't really matter what I am, does it? Certainly what I can do would be more pressing matter, yes?
A real cat couldn't have done all this.
You're really hung up on appearances, aren't you? Do you have some kind of proof that cats don't possess powers like mine? I doubt it. And you know, it's pretty rude of you to keep going on and on about what I am. I even asked who I am or what my name is.
Okay, what is your name?
Well, I'm not going to tell you now. Learn some manners first and we'll see. Well, maybe in your next life anyway.
What do you want?
Well, if we're talking about my original goals, those are a bit personal, I'd say. And anyway, things have changed. Right now, well, presently, I'd like to have some more fun with you. Your company has been very entertaining thus far, given more time and under different circumstances. Perhaps we could have even been... Well, all good things must come to an end. You can't truly want to spend what little time you have left in regret and delusion, right? Alternatively, I'm also quite hungry after waiting so long for you to wake up. At this point, I could go either way. Have I satisfied your curiosity now?
I just have one more question. Why me? Why call out to me, of all people?
All I did was call for someone to hear me. I called out, and you were the first person who came to me. Simple as that. Were you hoping for some special reason? I'm afraid I don't have one. Everything I've come to like about you were things discovered after our initial encounter.
So there's no big reason for any of this?
The reason is far less interesting than the results that came about from our interaction. I only call it to satiate my hunger, and in doing so, I found something far more valuable. I know for a fact that regardless of how this plays out, I will never forget you.
What do you mean?
I've taken a liking to you, human, and so I'll grant you another chance. Another choice.
This place. You remember this place. Being chased. Being hunted. Being afraid. So afraid. That fear that so attracted me to you.
You remember this place. Being chased. Being hunted. Being afraid. So afraid. That fear that so attracted me to you. That instinctive desperation to survive. I craved it all. As I am the origin of those delectable emotions, you are already mine. But I will still permit you the chance to accept the reality of your fate. Human, join me, or perish.
There's what? 3 endings left? Okay. I'll join you.
Splendid. Come forward, my human.
You step forward and pick up the cat. You cradle it in your arms, reaching up to scratch its head. Suddenly, you start to feel sleepy. But the sudden wave of fatigue doesn't cause you to sway on your feet or stumble at all. What's happening?
Shh, don't worry. You no longer need to worry about anything anymore. Just sleep and dream those sweet, sweet dreams for me. Excellent. With this, you will soon become a part of me.
Ending 37. Forever. I'd rather die.
I see. Then there's nothing left to say. Resign to your fate.
You finally turn around. It's enormous, shapeless, billowing like thick smoke in the wind. The shadow-like entity towers above you, so high it looks like the sky poured it down to earth, is still pouring it even. It is unfathomable that your tiny world is even able to stand under the weight of the reality of such a being's existence. And that you and your fragile mind haven't fallen to ruin as well. You step forward into the monstrous miasma and offer yourself to it. Darkness. Surrounded by pure and absolute darkness, you are very suddenly hit with a feeling that you are not alone. Like you've just stepped into an unbearably, impossibly crowded space. Your ears even start to ring with the sensation of countless conversations. Words, whispers, screams, sorry, I'm taking a sip, all overlapping. But
I forgot to close my door.
Never mind, I did close my door, but Mo decided to leave. I guess she was done napping.
you don't actually see or hear anyone or anything. You're alone. Even as your senses lie to you, trying to make you think otherwise, you are more alone than you've ever been. Lies. 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 Listen. Listen, please. Huh? Is someone really... I can't see you. Where are you? Nothing. Nothing left to see. Only here. Hear us.
Listen, please.
Are you all trapped too in this place? No place. Us. All you see, hear, feel is us. Us and it.
We are victims. Prey, like you. We are many, beyond counting.
Our bodies gone with time. Wills left beyond us. Us. We became what you see. This place is us. Need you. Need your help. Help. But what can I do?
It too greedy. Make mistake. Ate too many. We are many. Now strong.
We are strong. Made it strong. But make mistake. Mistake. Error. Flaw. Weakness. Then why not escape yourselves? Too long here. Too long. One. We are one with each.
Bodies lost. Minds, wills, us. All corrupted. no body, can't escape.
You too. You, we, it, one, all of us, all now one. But you, new, fresh body.
Still have body.
Escape is possible. Because still one with it. Even just you, if escape with mind and with body, it would unravel. Lose power, lose strength, lose us. Us, set free, forever, finally, escape, help. How do I do that? Remember, it lies, hidden in truths. Lies, lies.
Escape. Push forward. It lies.
Persist. 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 You ignore their words. Deep down, you know there's no way something like you could win against something like it, the cat. Words are being said. Yeah, the cat trying would be pointless, futile, significant, useless.
No pointless effort. The hopes of those words, their wills, it would be all wasted on you. So, you accept your fate and choose to perish. You're not sure how long it takes, but their pathetic pleas eventually grow silent. You almost wish they would have simply turned to insults and threats. This endless silence bears the weight of your guilt and shame long after your body fades away and becomes one with me.
Ending, perish the thought. No, this is another daydream, isn't it?
Are you lucid again? And here? But how did you...
Well, when you've been daydreaming about the same day over and over, you kind of start to notice the patterns. Listen, I'm nothing special. I don't really have any friends. I don't like crowds or going out most of the time. And more often than not, I'm alone. Even in my home, one bedroom, one bathroom, and one me living in it. It'd be easy to say that I didn't have much to lose. My life is admittedly pretty boring. But it is my life. And if this is my dream, then you're not calling the shots anymore.
I don't think you understand what's going on here.
No, you're the one who isn't getting it. You called me. You're the one who needs me. Whether it's to eat me or kill me or make me yours forever, it doesn't matter. I'm done here. I'm going home.
You forget yourself, human. You? Ungrateful little creature. I give you my patience, my attention, my love, and you think you can just leave? I didn't have to, you know. I could have just eaten you whenever I liked, but instead, I gave you time to understand, time to accept that was happening. I give you a choice.
Right. Have fun, Faye. Bye-bye.
You, an unremarkable little nothing of an existence whom no one would even notice was missing if I had taken you as I pleased. Dreaming away about endless possibilities. Not having to worry about permanent consequences ever again. About choosing wrong. A little world in your own inside your head. I offered it all to you. I gave you the choice to join me and have it all. And you refused. You said you'd rather die, didn't you? And yet here you are trying to go back on your choice. Only to continue to reject me. To reject my love. So foolish. So ungrateful. Just like the others, you don't even know what you want. Another bundle of contradictions. You wish for solitude, yet you fear being left alone. You fear being forgotten, undesired, unloved. Yet, even though I love you and desire you, even though I promise to never forget you, even though I am the only one willing to never leave you, you still reject me! Stupid little child. I'm done waiting. You do not get a second chance. You made your choice, and you will accept the consequences of that choice. You are going to stay here with the rest of these ingrates forever.
Haven't you ever heard of changing your mind?
Such a thing doesn't erase your original decision. It has been permanently etched into reality. Do you think yourself so important that you are above facing the truth of that reality?
No, but that doesn't mean I can't do my best to make things right. I'm still here, aren't I? That means I can always make more choices. Better choices.
You gave yourself to me. You are already a part of me. This might be your pathetic little delusion, but don't forget that I'm the one in control here, human.
Oh yeah, that's right. The twisted choices in my dreams were all you, weren't they?
We help running and dream.exe. What's persist? What are you doing, you useless traitors? Stop!
I think it's about time I started making my own choices.
Stop!
Persist. I'm back in the alley. It's not here. Good. I think I need to get home. I step forward out of the alley. This is gonna take some getting used to. I step forward towards the entrance of the thankfully empty alley. I'm almost out of this place. Almost home. When suddenly...
You're not going anywhere!
Go right. Don't give in to it. Persist. Need to dodge away from it. I understand you need to dodge away. How am I supposed to know? Ah. Yeah. No, we're not overriding. Go left. Okay, we're going back. Go back. Go right. Go home. Damn it. It overrode my choice. Where the hell do I go? To the dog park. Anywhere but here. Go back. Go back. Go left. Go right. Go right. Damn it, gotta escape.
Got you now!
Right. Left. Back.
Get back here!
Watch a movie. Go to the new cinema. Go right. Go back. Go left. Go right. Dead end. Where do I...
Found you!
Go back. Go left. Right. Left. Right. Crap, dead end.
Stop running.
Go right. Go left. Back.
Get back here.
Carnival. Go right. Go right. Go left. Go back. How do I get out?
No escape.
Go right. Go back. Go left.
Get back here.
Did I do it?
Thread unraveling.
Many us escape. Many free now. It losing us. Losing strength. Your escape possible now.
No! You are mine! We go ahead. We go free. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you too, all of you. I won't forget you. Go home. It's my choice.
No! Come back!
Come back! We left.
Please! Don't leave me! I'll die without you! I'll die! I'll die!
Push forward.
Wait! Wait!
I'm back. Back where it all began. The alley. And in the cardboard box. The back of the alley. There you are. You look nothing like an impossibly cute cat I met. Well, what feels like a lifetime ago. After escaping and releasing the wills of all your victims, all that's left of you now is an inky black blob seething up at me. The endless hatred pouring out of your singular eye. Doesn't scare me at all. Do not take this cat home.
Don't leave. You're mine.
No, I'm not.
You took them away. They were mine. And now they're gone. You took them away. You took everything from me.
They weren't yours either.
Alone.
You never had to be. If you were lonely, you could have just been their friend. But you didn't want friendship. They left because you tricked them, kidnapped them, hurt them. You stole their lives, their time, never to get any of it back. You brought this on yourself. Do not take this.
You are perfect.
I'm not.
You are. Don't need the others. Just need you. Stay with me.
I won't.
I can give you anything. Can give everything for you.
No, you can't. You couldn't even before. You definitely can't now. And even if you could give me everything I ever wanted and more, I'd still never stay.
I love you.
No, you.
I do. So much. I love you. 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 I love you.
Stop. Maybe you do love me in some strange, screwed up way I'll never understand. But even if that's the case, it's not enough.
Please, don't go. I'll be good.
lost you.
I promise. Just don't leave. Don't leave me alone. Please. I'll die. I'll die without you.
Do not take this cat home.
I hate you.
Now that I can believe. There's nothing left to say. I watch in silence as the cat, as it fades away into nothing. Goodbye. With one last glance around the alley, I turn. And leave. Ending 38. Do not take this cat home. Today's been surprising? Yeah, pleasantly so. A day after that started with admittedly crummy weather led me to the old theater, where I enjoyed a movie by myself. My laughter filled up the empty theater. The rain had stopped by the time the movie was over, and I was in such a good mood, I hopped over to the not-so-new cinema. Not to watch another movie, but to play around in the arcade, earning a few high scores. With the gamer in me awakened, I went to the carnival to play some more, and was humbled fairly quickly. But I did manage to win a small stuffed animal at the ring toss booth. The design is questionable, and I freaking love it. The rides weren't so bad either. I got inducted into a group for a bit, and while waiting in line at the Ferris wheel, bonding over shared mistrust of carnival game vendors. I even shared a carriage on the Ferris wheel with a few of them, and exchanged numbers before we parted ways. I don't know if I'll ever see them again, or if any of them will ever call me, or if I even had it in me to call any of them, but having the option to do so is nice. It feels nice. Baby steps. After all, even that tiny bit of interaction, though fun, exhausted me. So I went to recharge at the dog park, feeling rejuvenated at the sight of dogs. Old, young, big, and small, all running around, happy and carefree. A few owners even let me take pictures. Yeah, today was a good day. I don't think about the cat or it, I guess, not that much these days. It was hard at first, in the imminent days and weeks that followed. What happened to me was all I could think about. There were days I blamed myself, days I questioned my choices. I went back to the alley more times than I want to admit. The feeling that always went through me at the sight of that empty cardboard box was so indescribable, so overwhelming. I'd sometimes break down and cry right where I stood. It took a while, but eventually that strange emotion became clearer and clearer, until I had the courage to recognize it for what it was. Relief. I'd been so afraid to feel it for so long, terrified to let my guard down. But that sense of relief finally returned. Relief that it was gone. Relief that I was free to live my life, however simply or extraordinarily I wished. The ones it had imprisoned, I never heard their voices again either. But that's for the best. Living here and now, never forgetting what they did for me, and what I did for them too. For now, I think that's enough. At least I hope so. And that wherever they are, they're finally at peace. And fighting for my own peace too. One day at a time. One tomorrow after another. finally.
Turning it up just a tad bit, the music.
I head home to my little apartment. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, and 1 me living alone in it. Well, almost anyway. I'm home, baby. A little kitten flails as it awkwardly runs over and mews at me. I kneel down, looking fondly at its hazel green eye. The poor thing had been hurt and starving when I found it a few weeks ago. But it certainly got its energy back after a little food and care. Did you miss me? Hungry, huh? Me too. It's been a long day. I smile helplessly at its cute little face. Let's find something to eat, okay? Well, I guess there is one more living thing in my home. And, at least for now, I wouldn't have it any other way. Another day. Oh, this is such a good game. I'm tearing up a little. Backgrounds and BG art references by Pexels.com. Sound effects, Pixabay.com. Programmed with RedPad. That is something I'm actually looking into to possibly make my own. Turn down low, because I'm very quiet all of a sudden. To make my own game, potentially. I say potentially because it's been in the works, but whether or not I've actually done it is the thing. And you, thanks for playing, and in our case, thank you for watching. If you want to experience this for yourself, please go look it up. I did find it on itch.io underneath the same name, and it was free. So please give all of your love and support to the creator of this game. And yeah, the end. And there we go. I had a wonderful time. I hope you did too. Let's see. Is there anyone? Let's see if anyone else is playing real quick. Is it? Nope, just me. What about another game that I was playing? No, because that's going to give spoilers, which we don't want. Let us go and read a lovely person called Tiorentla. I'm not sure on pronouns, so I'm going to use they, them for the time being. But they are playing Mouthwashing, which I have played in the past. Can definitely go check that out on YouTube to see my reaction to that of playing. So yeah, I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys did too. And I will see you all on another day. I think this was very fun for a 2-year anniversary stream. So yeah, hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye.